dear learner, welcome to another mathematics lesson. The topic is differentiation, and this is the eighth lesson after we started to discuss this topic, differentiation. In lesson 7, we discussed about stationary points. We learned how to find a stationary point and how to identify what kind of stationary point it is. And I gave an assignment at the end of that last lesson. This is the question I gave. Identify the stationary points on the curve y is equal to 1 plus 4x cubed minus x power 4. Then determine the nature of each stationary point. So let's look at this question before we start our today's lesson. So, as I explained in my last lesson, you start by differentiating, you find dy dx. Today I will move a bit faster. Dy dx will be 12x squared minus 4x power 3. Then, at the stationary point, we know that dy dx is equal to 0. So at stationary point dy dx is equal to 0, so you just equate this to 0. So you will have 12x squared minus 4x cubed is equal to 0. You solve this equation. You can factor out the common factor, which is 4x squared is common. So we shall factor out 4x squared, brackets. We remain with 3 minus x is equal to 0. When you reach here, you would say either this is equal to 0 or this is equal to 0. So either 4x squared is equal to 0 or 3 minus x is equal to 0. If 4x squared is equal to 0, then x is equal to 0. If 3 minus x is equal to 0, then x is equal to 3. So we have those two solutions for x if you solve this. So x is equal to 0 and also x is equal to 3. So it means this curve will have two stationary points. One at x is equal to 0, the other at x is equal to 3. When x is equal to 0, what is y? Use the original equation. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 3, what is y? Use the original equation again. Put 3. You will have here 3 cubed, 27 times 4. Then here we have 3 power 4, 81. So 1 plus 27 minus, we shall have 1 plus 27 times 4. That is what is that? 8. 108 minus 81. That is 109 minus 81. It will be 28. So y will be 28. So it means the stationary points are the first one is 0, 1. The other one is 3, 28. Those are the stationary points, 0, 1 and 3, 28. Then you determine the nature. To determine the nature means you find out whether they are maximum points or they are minimum points or they are point of inflection. So quickly let us determine their nature. For the first one, x dy dx, then diagrammatic representation. I hope you remember how to do that. So for the first one, x is 0. Then to the left of that, we have negative 1. To the right, we have positive 1. Remember, when x is 0, dy dx will be 0. And this is dy dx. So what is the dy dx when x is negative 1? Put negative 1 here. Negative 1 squared is positive 1 times 12, that is 12, minus negative 1 cube is negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. So minus negative 4, which will be plus 4. So 12 plus 4 is 16. Positive. Then to the right, we have 1. Put 1 and 1 here. We shall have 1 squared is 1. This becomes 12, this becomes 4. So 12 minus 4 is 8. So we have positive gradient, 0, then positive again. That is the diagrammatic representation. Positive, 0, positive. So, my dear learner, therefore, 0, 1 is a point of inflection. Therefore, 0, 1 is a point of inflection. What about the other one? 328. dy dx, diagrammatic representation. We start with x is equal to, in the middle you put x is equal to 3. Then to the left we have 2, to the right we have 4. At the stationary point, dy dx is always 0. So what is the value of x? What is the value of dy dx when x is 2? So you come here, you put 2 in place of x in dy dx, then you find out. So 2 squared will be 4, 4 times 12 is 48, minus, here we have 2 cube is 8, 8 times 4 is 32, so 48 minus 32 is 16. 16, positive 16. Then put 4 now. 4 squared is 16. 16 times 4 squared is 16. 16 times 12. Quickly. That is 192. So we have 192 here. Minus here we have 4 cube times 4. 4 cube times 4 is 256. So 192 minus 256, my dear learner, if you subtract that, you will get a negative number. It will be a negative number, 256. It will be negative 64. So you will notice that the gradient changes from positive 0 to negative. Positive 0 to negative. So it means that point 328 is a maximum point. So that is how you do that question. We have identified the stationary points. We have also determined their nature. So that is as far as stationary points is concerned. So my dear learner, for today we shall start another subtopic, curve sketching. So what we are going to discuss today is curve sketching, where we apply the concept of differentiation to sketch a curve. Curve sketching is our subtopic. When you sketch a curve, a sketch of a curve shows the general shape of the curve and any important features of the curve. As general, it should show at least the general shape of the curve and also the important features, any important features. For example, when you say important features, it's like at what point the graph cuts the y-axis, at what point the graph cuts the x-axis, and if there are stationary points on the curve, the stationary points should be clearly indicated. So that is what we mean by sketch of a curve. It should show the general shape of the curve and also any important features of the curve. And we want to start by an example. Sketch a curve y is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 8. Y is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 8. So we want to sketch that curve. So like I said, the sketch should at least show where the graph cuts the x-axis, where the graph cuts the y-axis, and also any stationary point. So when to know where the graph cuts the x-axis, you must find out the value of y when x is 0. You find value of y when x is 0. That is where the graph cuts the y-axis. To get where the graph cuts the x-axis, you find the value of x when y is 0. So that is how we determine where the graph cuts the x-axis and y-axis. So when x is 0, what is y? You just replace 0 in place of x, and then you will get y. So y will be 0 minus, the whole of this becomes 0 plus 8. So y will be 8. So this means when x is 0, y is 8, means the graph cuts the x-axis, the y-axis at 0, 8. So the graph cuts the y-axis. Let me write it full. The graph cuts the y-axis at 0, 8. What about when y is 0? What is the value of x? When y is 0. Now replace y with 0, find the value of x. So it means you shall have a quadratic equation. X squared, you will have, let me write, x squared minus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0. Then you solve that, you will get two values of x. You will have x, if you factorize, you will get x minus 4, x minus 2 is equal to 0. Meaning, the two values of x is either x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 2. Because if x minus 4 is 0, I hope you know how to continue from there. If x minus 4 is 0, then x is equal to 4. If x minus 2 is 0, then x is equal to 2. So that's why I'm saying the value of x is either 4 or 2. This means the graph cuts the x-axis at 2 points. It will cut the x-axis at 2 points. The first point is 4, 0. Always start with the x-coordinate. 4, 0 and 2, 0. The graph will cut the x-axis at 4, 0 and 2, 0. So we have obtained the points at which the graph cuts the x-axis and the points at which the graph cuts the y-axis. What about the stationary point? Let us find the stationary point quickly. We find dy dx. For you to get the stationary point, you must find dy dx, then equate that dy dx to 0. So dy dx here will be 2x minus 6. So 2x minus 6 is equal to 0, because at stationary point dy dx must be equal to 0. So if 2x minus 6 is equal to 0, then we shall have 2x is equal to 6. Divide both sides by 2, you will get that x is equal to 3. So it means the stationary point for this curve, the stationary point will be at 3, at the point where x is equal to 3. But what kind of a stationary point will it be? Will it be a maximum point? Will it be a minimum point? Or will it be a point of inflection? It's good to know before you draw the graph or you draw the sketch. Remember, we are drawing a sketch. So let us do what we have been doing in our previous lesson. We have x, 3 values of x, where this x is equal to 3 should be in the middle. And remember, this is the x coordinate, the y coordinate is obtained from the original. So if x is equal to 3, y is equal to, you just put 3 here, 3 squared is 9, 9 minus 18 plus 8. 9 minus 18 is negative 9, plus 8 will be negative 1. So the stationary point is 3, negative 1. 3, negative 1. So to the left of 3 we have 2, and to the right we have 4. So we find dy dx and then diagrammatic representation. At stationary point, dy dx is 0. To the left, this is dy dx. So you put 2, you will have 2 times 2 is 4, 4 minus 6 is negative 2. Then you put 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 minus 6 is positive 2. So we have negative gradient, 0 gradient, then positive gradient. So that is the diagrammatic representation, which tells you obviously that is a minimum point. So we have all the features which we require. Remember, the features we require is where the graph cuts the x-axis, where the graph cuts the y-axis, and where the stationary points are, and what type of stationary point it is. So let us sketch the graph. The graph sketching should be drawn on a graph page, either a graph book or a graph paper. That is the y-axis, that is the x-axis. We have 0 there. Now, let us at least plot those points, those very important points. Where the graph cuts, starting with the first one here, the graph cuts the y-axis at 0, 8. So the graph must pass through that point, 0, 8. The graph at the y is equal to 0, the graph cuts the x-axis at 4 and 2. That is at 2, 0 here and 4, 0 here. So that is those are the 2 points at which the graph cuts the x-axis. Then we have a stationary point at 3, negative 1. 3, negative 1. 3, negative 1 is there. And that stationary point is a minimum point. That stationary point is a minimum point. So those are the points. As you can see, we have only 4 points which can assist us in sketching the curve. So let us sketch the curve. This is the stationary point, and it is a minimum. Make sure it is a minimum. Then join. So So that is the sketch of that curve. Y is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 8. So my dear learner, that is how we do curve sketching. We find some important features of the curve, then we just draw the curve. In some cases, you may have a graph which has more than one stationary point. So you must find the two stationary points, then you draw the curve the way it is supposed to be required. As much as possible, though it is called a sketch, as much as possible you should be accurate. You should be accurate, because if you are sketching this curve and you have not indicated these important features correctly, then that sketch is not correct. The sketch must have the special features, like where the graph cuts the y-axis and where the graph cuts the x-axis and the turning points or the stationary points. My dear learner, today I wanted to take us less time as possible, so I will stop there for today. We shall continue in our next lesson. Bye.